We got 3 minutes. How you looking? 2 minutes. How you looking, actually? Sweet. Awesome. Okay. Well, we are good then. He's always on time, I'll tell you what.
We're back just in time for the green flag. We're gonna get a different camera angle here. We already got a caution. Trying to get things moved around here. Sorry for the computer issues. Not sure what happened there when we opened the new session. We're loading our camera controller right now.
Getting an EOL.
Disable that chat. So again, sorry about the computer issues. We're getting that all sorted out now. We got a 100-lap feature here. Now let's take a look at what just happened in that caution. Several cars went around. Oh, the 94 and the 10 get together. Some of these camera angles, the 94 goes sideways. That's what it is. Gets into the gas, the 10, the 54. And then there's just a huge stack up as everyone tries to get around these spinning cars. But a lot of cars up into the outside wall. You see them pile in there around the 54. But everybody gets back going, and we'll go back green flag racing here in a minute. Andrew Mraz, your leader, with the pace car lights off. Green flag. Mraz leads them. Fredericks on the outside. Here's some cars already hitting the wall. Oh, one moves to the outside. That's the 4 Mraz. Is now Zachary Taylor in the 31 the 19 has taken the lead. 4 laps here in the clash at North Wilkesboro. Cars around. No cautions. They're sliding down through the grass. Now we've got an issue. Looks like the 25 involved in this one. The 1 high center on the curb, trying to get it going. Now he'll get moving, but they're stuck. And the leader's going to come back around. I think he may put the 25 lap down here. If caution laps don't count, we'll see. 25 might. He's going to have to tow. And let's go and see what happened on this one. See, the 25 ended up having a tow out of it. The 33 was down on the inside. He had an issue before this. He and the 48 of Browning get together. 48 got sideways there. And the 33 of Scott Wise tries to avoid it, but hits the side of the 48. 48 into the outside wall. Wise to the inside. At this point, everyone's trying to avoid the 33. It shoves the 25 into the outside wall. Oh, and the 75 had issues and a toe link. You see that tire pop out. Let's take a look from the 75 and see what happened to him. Yeah, he just got loose down on the bottom. Touched that grass right there. Hard hit to the outside wall. And then a lot of cars. Oh, yeah, big toe link. That's going to be a fast repair to fix that car. And I don't think he was able to get to the pits either. He had a toe too, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, once that toe link breaks, they're almost immovable. And it looks like caution flags aren't going to count here in this race either. Zach Taylor out front. Pace car in. Green flag. Zach Taylor now trying to get a lead over Dalton Fredericks. This may be a battle of attrition here. Raz up to third. Browning still holding that fourth position. Oh, one goes sideways. I think that's Blaney. No, it's Tiller. No, it is Blaney. He slides backwards. Everyone keeps going. We're almost single file now. Quentin Clark, I think he got an EOL for that first incident, trying to move his way back to the front. He's up to 11th. So on the move, Quentin Clark, fast race car right now. Taylor up on that outside line. Fredericks trying to run a little lower, but they switch down in turn 3. Fredericks a little bit higher, Taylor down to the bottom. Zachary Taylor and Dalton Fredericks really pulling away from the rest of the field, but you know there's probably going to be another caution. I really feel like this race is going to come down to pit strategy. We'll see how much tire fall off we have tonight. We know we don't get much of that in the Cup Series. We'll see how iRacing deals with tire fall off. A second group of cars back here. Oh, is there with the 48 around? Trying to get back to him. No caution as he spins down into the grass. He's off the racing surface. He does have some damage on the right front. And he'll get going, but it looks like he's going to go a lap down as Zachary Taylor now right on his rear bumper. You see him go by. I mean, these two are so far out in front of the rest of the field that you can't hardly see them in this group. And now we've got one around the 52. Landon Lacey and the 94 Clark teammates get together. They will remain on the lead lap. Well, let's take a look at this caution. Oh, the 12. Let's see what happens here. The 12. That's Tiller. Hard into the corner and up into the 52. I don't know if he thought the 74 was going to go a little deeper than he did, but the 12 washes up into the 52. Lacey goes right around the 94. Clark nowhere to go as the 12 goes sideways. And Clark, he hits that 52 right in that left rear tire. I don't think he broke the toe link because he was able to move on. But 3 cars with some damage in that one. Let's watch it one more time. This time at speed. And it looks like the 48 may get the free pass there. Actually scoring the 48 as leader, but I do believe the 48 is on the lead lap now. We're scoring in 15th place. Now 13th, so maybe they're going to put him in 13th here. With the 19, still your leader, Zachary Taylor. Had a good little green flag run there. Double file, getting ready to go green again. Zachary Taylor, how long can he hold the lead? Side by side, Fredericks with a power move on the outside. Here comes Jacob May. We've got one around, looks like the 4. Big crash. The 94 and the 48 also involved. Mraz around. Let's just back this up and see what happened. We'll look from the chopper cam. 3 wide going into turn 1. And the 1 just up the track right into the side of the 4. Yeah, the 4 gets spun around sideways. Tries to save it. But, you know, cars keep piling in. You know, here at North of Wilkesboro, a short track like this, if you get sideways on the racing surface, anywhere on the racing surface, you're likely to get hit by a car coming through, especially when you're up there in the 4th or 5th spot like Andrew Mraz was. A couple drivers in the pit lane, Ben Calder-Marsh and Brandon Browning, both in the pit lane. $18 cars still running right now. 3 cars appear to be out or having some long-term repairs. The leader's coming back around. We'll see if these 2 get out. I think they will. Browning will at least. And Ben still not rolling. He'll go a lap down as they are still working on that race car. And actually, with caution laps not counting, he may not go a lap down. And it looks like the one given the EOL there as a cause of the incident. He'll move to the back. Light still on the pace car. The 14 now out of the pits. He'll come back around. Hoping to get some green flag racing. Car's already starting to get double file. We talked to Brayton and at the break before we had those computer issues, and Brayton said he was going to put on a show for us. He's got his pizza machine, the Bocconi setup shop, Ford Mustang. We'll see if he can sling this pizza all the way to the front. Pace car back off the racetrack, and we'll wait. Green flag. Taylor already in the lead. He's going to pull up in front of Fredericks. Fredericks at the bottom. It gives him a bump. Jake May now up to the outside in that third spot, trying to put heat and pressure on the top two. We got one around the 12. No caution yet. There he is, sideways on the racetrack. No cautions. He'll get off the racing surface and tow. Dalton Fredericks now to the lead. Zachary Taylor dropping back as Jake May now moves in to the second spot. Landon Lacey advanced on the last chance qualifier. Now there's a caution on the speedway for the 33. Scott Wise sitting around backwards there. And let's take a look. Oh, he in the 74 with an incident. Oh, I think that's Wesley Jeanette. Just gets loose. Comes right up into Scott Wise. And Wise gets the worst of it as Wesley Jeanette able to move on. Not get much damage. I don't think Scott got too much damage out of that. Let's take one more look at it this time. At speed as they come out of the corner, you watch the 74 get a little loose right there up into the 33. In the pits, taking a set of tires. I think they only get two extra sets, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not exactly sure what the rules are, but I believe they only get 2 sets extra per race. We had those heats earlier, so 100 laps, 3 sets of tires total. That would be enough to make it interesting. And the thing about caution laps not counting is that, you know, when you're out front and you're trying to hold that position, you want to, you kind of want caution laps to count because those amount of green flag laps on your tires are a whole lot less. So we're 21 laps in. He's Dalton Fredericks has 20 or 21 green flag laps on those tires. So when we get up to like lap 50, lap 60, that's when I'm going to expect some of these leaders to pit. I think if it was me in this race, I would stay out there till halfway and then pit around halfway to get a fresh set of tires. And then hope at the end that you can hold on, because these cautions laps not counting is not helping you with your tire wear. Fredericks looks like he's going to choose the outside lane. Jake May will have to take the inside. Lights off on the caution car. As we wait for the pace car to pull off. Green flag, and we're back underway. Dalton Fredericks keeps the lead. We saw Landon Lacey, like I said a minute ago, he qualified in through that last chance qualifier. Has now moved up to second. We've seen him win a lot of races on this channel. Moves to the outside, right against the wall as they go into turn 3. Lacey trying to get by Fredericks. Jake May holding on to that third spot as he got the 72 around. Caution on the speedway. '72 of Chris Dange. We'll see what happened here as they go down into turn 3. Looks like maybe an incident in front of them. They all get checked up. Oh, and he comes up right into the side of the 3 car. That's Torres. Just right down into the inside wall. Pretty simple incident there. We'll take a look from the blimp cam. Yeah, it appears the 72 just not sure if he realized that the 3 was out there or not, but 72 up into the side of the 3 of Joe Torres, and Stange around. Caution out again. Almost quarter of the way through. I think some of these drivers with newer tires, a couple of them have pitted. Dalton Fredericks is able to keep the lead there. Tyler Humphrey says, wow, what a lick. I bet he has a concussion after that. There's a chance of it in these next-gen cars. You never know. But in all fairness, he did have a front hit. Not a lot of concussions coming from the front hits. It's usually when they back it into the wall, which we've seen a few drivers do so far today. Cars already lining up double file, waiting for that pace car. We'll see if Fredericks chooses the outside line here. And it looks like he might choose the bottom this time. We'll see. I'm not sure I would give Lacey the outside lane. He's proven to be extremely strong up there on the high line, but Dalton Fredericks feels confident in his abilities to get it done on the bottom. That 3 of Torres able to hold his position in 4th. Lacey with a great restart, able to hold on to the side of Fredericks. You're going to see a power by on the outside. On the exit, Lacey with a big run. Lacey's got his car set up to run the outside. Fredericks dives it in a little deep. Has to check up. Lacey will clear for the lead. New leader here at Wilkesboro. Landon Lacey now out front. The battle is on for second. As Jake May tried for a second, but now Fredericks going to try and get back to the leader. We've got a big gaggle of cars back here. Mraz in the 4th spot. Torres 5th. Quentin Clark, who was up front earlier, caused a caution, had an EOL, now back up to the 6th spot. Oh, and tags the 3, and he'll send it into the pit wall. That's got to break a toe link. We're seeing other cars smoke down the front stretch. And the 94 gonna have to tow. He definitely broke the toe link hitting the pit wall like that. And let's see just what happened here. The 3 had to check up for the 4, and the 94, I don't think he even saw. We'll take a look here at the cockpit camera. He may have saw the 4 there, but didn't realize they were checked up. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not real sure if the 3 came down or the 94 came up. I really think the 3 may have came down there as he tagged the 4, but that sent the 94 on a wild ride. Right, yeah, instantly. You see the rear tire. See if we can get a decent look at it right here. That rear tire toe link out on that one. Right there, you see that tire hanging. That car gonna have to take the fast repair. Had to take a tow, so he'll go a couple laps down. That looked like the 13 of Brayton Laster went around there. They were all 3 wide there trying to get by. And the 19 who had just taken a pit. Oh, no fast repairs I'm hearing. Which is crazy. I thought we was going to have 1 fast repair, but that should dwindle out the field pretty quick. If Brayton's telling me that, are you out of this one, Brayton? It didn't look too bad. Oh, the 19 going around and around there, trying to get back going straight. I think we're about to get back going green. Lester is still in it. Commenting on YouTube and still racing the Pizza Man. Brayton Laster getting it done out there up to the 12th spot, even being involved in that incident. And looks like several cars are going to be out of this one. We've got 15 cars still in the running. Brayton says we good. Hey, we saw Brayton in the IndyCar series kind of outlasted a lot of these guys. This might be another night of that. Started with 21 cars, down to 15 already. Oh, Jake May already the inside. That's not going to work. The 4, Mraz going to get by. Lacey loose off the corner. Fredericks with the power down. Coming out of the corner. Lacey going to try and get back to the inside. One around that looked like the 48 of Browning. Through the grass, he'll be able to continue. Good save there by Brandon Browning. Fredericks and Lacey still battling. Jake May right behind. Gimbel now, we saw he was the fastest in practice. Has had a couple of incidents in this event here through the heat races. Had an EOL just a minute ago, all the way back up to 5th. He is all over that number 4 of Andrew Mraz. Mraz sends it in a little deep. Gimbel to the bottom, side by side across the line. Gimbel up, they're door to door out of the corner. These guys fighting hard. This is the old school racing right here. Beating and banging through the corner as the 4 Mraz with a crossover moves. Gimbel gets in too hard, slides up the track. I think Mraz got in there a little too hard too. Mraz with the bumper. Can't get to him, and I think the only reason he didn't is because the front of that bumper is bent in on the 4. You see the big dent there in the middle of the 4's bumper. I think that's the only reason he didn't get to him. As the top 3 have created a gap now. The 1 of Gimbel in 4th. Mraz sideways. Now Gimbel going to have a little less pressure on him. Well, never mind. Mraz sends it into the corner. Gimbel gets a little loose down that front stretch too. Now they're back on top of each other. The 3 of Joe Torres kind of on an island right now. That's probably where I'd want to be in a lot of this crazy racing out there by myself, just logging laps. Blaney in the 22, Chris Staines right behind him. Mike Campeggio, somebody we haven't talked about yet tonight, in the 9th position. And here comes Brayton Laster and Ben Cowdermarsh battling side by side. Cowdermarsh, excuse me, is going to hold on to that 10th position. Now Scott Wise will get around Brayton Laster. And up front, the 10 of Jake May is able to get by Landon Lacey as these 3, excuse me, have stretched out their lead. They might be having a time and a scoring problem here. We'll see if we can get this fixed. Jake May in the 2nd spot, Landon Lacey trying to catch up. Lacey might be burning those tires off, running the higher line, diving it into the corner. A lot of times that right front, you burn it up on corner entry, trying to dive it in so hard. Jake May right to the back bumper of Dalton Fredericks. Right now, timing and scoring is frozen, but we are on about lap 45. These three, the hottest ticket right now on the racetrack. And this is for the race lead. I've raced against Jake May in an Xfinity series. The guy is very talented. Looking to the inside. Can he get the bumper there? Frederick's hanging on to the outside lane. It's hard to pass down on the bottom. You really want to get to the outside and have the advantage on the exit. Jake May to the lead. Frederick's now back to second as Landon Lacey's going to try and get by. I'm going to try and get this timing and scoring fixed. I'll be right back in just half a second. Side by side for the second spot. Landon Lacey in the 52 on the outside. The 20 of Frederick's out front. I think we're going to get time and scoring back here. There we go. Now May out front. There we go. $54 of 100. We are past halfway. The 94 lets these top three go by. They are approaching the rear of the field. Will lap traffic make a difference? Can these drivers make it to the end on fuel and on tires? If we get another caution, who's going to pit? Yeah, you know, I think at this point, I would pit if we get another caution. But right now, Landon Lacey on the move, trying to catch Jake May for the lead. One of Jay Gimble has now moved up to the 4th spot. Mraz back to 5th. Joe Torres in the 6th position. Stange in the 72 up to 7th. Jason Blaney right behind him in the 8th spot. Mike Campeggio still in 9th. Cowdermarsh in the 10th position. Scott Wise 11th. Brayton Laster in 12th. John Tiller right now rounding out your cars on the lead lap. He's trying to stay on the lead lap as the leaders are approaching him from behind. You see Jake May in the 10, Landon Lacey right behind him. These two battling hard. May gonna have to move the 12 up the track. Tiller won't get out of the way. That's gonna hurt Lacey. As Tiller's stuck on the outside, Lacey right behind him. These two both clear the number 12 car. Dalton Fredericks at a distant third right now. 2-lap cars between, 3-lap cars now between he and the front two. So Fredericks going to have his work cut out for him if he wants to catch these front two back. Some action heating up back in the field. The 9. Mike Campeggio, Calder Marsh, not too far behind. That's the battle for 9th. And just in front of these guys, the 22 of Blaney for the 8th position, and Stange in 7th. So 7th back to 10th in a pretty tight battle. But this battle right here between Jake May and Landon Lacey. Tightest race on the track, and it's for the lead. That's something we don't typically see. Lacey might try and follow his teammate through, but not close enough to get up there to the side of the 10. Cars right now spread out all over the track. You see the track map. Cars everywhere. As far apart as they can get at a half-mile racetrack. These two getting ready to catch the tail end of the field again. Laster. Right now, the last car on the lead lap. You see Jake May right behind him. Laster's got to be hoping for a caution right now. 68 laps in, probably wanting a set of tires. As now May around on the bottom. That's going to hold up Lacey, as Lacey's not able to go to the outside like he wanted, but Lacey with a big dive into the corner, going to get a good run through there. Fredericks, don't forget about Dalton Fredericks. He hasn't given up. Once he got through that traffic, he's done a good job of slowly reeling these guys in a little bit by little, hoping to have another shot at it in the next 30 laps. And you see the 94, he came out of the pits and drove around these guys. He's several laps down, but you can see the difference in speed with new tires. So if there is a caution, expect a lot of these drivers to pit, and anybody that stays out is going to be a sit and duck. Jake May and Landon Lacey, though, still fighting hard. As they're almost 3/4 of the way through this race. Once those cautions quit flying, the laps have really ticked off. Can Landon Lacey do anything to catch the number 10? As we look from the inside of Landon Lacey's car. Looks to me like the 10. Jake May might be pulling away a little bit. Lacey better in 3 and 4, but May a little bit better in 1 and 2. But that time the 33 up on the outside, Scott Wise. He is now the first car lap down. That's going to hurt Brayton Laster. As now he'll fall a lap down. And these leaders starting to catch some of these drivers at the end of the field. They're still pretty fast. The next car to go a lap down is the 10th place car, Mike Campeggio, who's actually running a pretty decent time. But it looks like he may have burned those tires up. We'll see how quick the leaders are able to get around him. May to the bottom, already to the back bumper. And he'll be around the 9 pretty quickly. Oh, Lacey gets sideways. That might be detrimental to his race with only 22 laps to go. He'll slip back 7/10 now. The difference between the 10 and the 52. Lacey sideways off the corner, trying hard. These tires are wearing out, though. And now May might be pulling away. Fredericks was keeping some sort of pace with May, but now May even pulling away from him. $20 to go, 7/10 the difference. Lacey, he has caught up 1/10. It was 8/10 just a second ago. No, Lacey loose again. And he'll drop another 2/10 there. 18 to go. Lacey's got to get his mind right here. And impressive run, you know, to think that, you know, Landon Lacey, having him in your mirror, that's got to be putting the pressure on Jake May. And if over the course of those 50 laps that they were battling back and forth, side by side, if Jake May has really come out of this thing as the one who has protected his tires the most and led all those laps, that is an impressive run. And that is a hard thing to do against Landon Lacey. Fredericks has now caught the 14 of Cowdermarsh for the 9th spot. Or he's in the 9th spot, battling with that 22 directly in front of him for 8th. As now Jake May to the inside. He's got almost a second advantage over Lacey. And you see how much more difficult that it is for these leaders to lap these cars. They've caught these guys that are actually very competitive. But this lap, oh, the 10 slides in a little too much, gets into the 22. But he will get by, and that's going to put 2 cars with 13 to go, 2 competitive cars in between 1st and 2nd place. And May's now going to have clean racetrack for a little while, and he's going to be pushing to get away from these guys as Landon Lacey. Now he'll head to the inside of the 14. Caution on the speedway, the 12 around. He's in the middle of the front stretch, I think. And the left front of that car not moving. He may have to tow, and the right front tow link broke. Oh, the 94 involved. And the 4 looks like the 94 on the outside of the 4. And as they go through, oh, the 94 gets loose, hits the 4, up into the outside wall for the 94. The 12 probably could have gotten to the inside, but he must have been pushing up out of the corner. And that breaks the totaling on the 12, so he's likely out of this one. And the 94 involved in another incident here, several laps down already. Now, everybody down the pit lane. Frederick's going to be the first one out. Mraz in second, possibly. Jake May already still out there. Let's take a look and see who pitted there. The 10 did pit. See if we can get a better look at what happened. He took 4 tires. Lacey took 4 tires. And it looks like Fredericks took 2 tires, but Jake May going to get out, and Lacey all the way back to 4, so some sort of pit issue for Lacey. But I believe Jake May will be the leader. I think the 13 of Brayton Laster will get back onto the lead lap. He'll need another caution, though, because he's got really old tires and only 10 laps to go. And it looks to me like Laster, possibly the 33 of Wise, trying to take a wave around here. And Caldermarsh being in the 14 car. All these guys getting wave arounds for staying out. The leader behind them. So the leader will reassume the lead car behind the pace car, and all these cars will get their wave around, the free pass. 12 laps to go. The cars that took the wave around better hurry up. The pace car off. Jake May will be the control car. Lacey gonna get aggressive. 11 to go. Oh, one car hard on the outside wall. That's Mraz, able to keep it going. And the one of Gimbel will get into him. Sideways caution with 10 to go. Let's take a look. The 4 had gotten into the wall before this down the backstretch. Almost took out the 52 of Lacey. As they come through the corner, I think he just tried to get into the gas and got tight. And then once he had contact with the 52, got loose, hit the outside wall. And then out of a little slow off the pace, down into 3. The one of Gimbel right into the rear bumper. As sends the 4 around, he goes around as well. And the 4 hits the pit entry wall. Actually hits the tire on the end, so that may not hurt him too bad. The 1 doesn't hit anything. And gets back going on the racetrack. And Mraz will pit here. 10 laps to go. And these last 10 laps might last a while. As we know, no caution laps count here in this one. Your leader, Jake May. And that was good for Brayton Laster, as he's able to get a set of tires that'll move him into the top 10 with a couple of these guys in the pit lane. We'll see if they issue an EOL for this incident. I think they will. Last are going to be able to go around Gimbal there. And I think we're about to go back green flag racing. No, still one more caution lap as the light's still on the pace car. Will this be the final restart? We're seeing the electricity starting to happen here. May's going to choose the outside lane. You know, it's possible for Lacey. To take him 3 wide into turn 1, we'll see how aggressive he is here. We're about to see some sparks fly. Laster up to the 9th spot through all that with a fresh set of tires. I think the freshest tires on the track by a couple of laps. We'll see if he's able to do anything with them. We go green. Lacey already bumping Fredericks down in the corner, and that may have gotten Fredericks a little uneasy as he checked up. And the 3 of Torres will now move into 2nd spot. We've not heard much from Joe Torres all night, but he's sent it hard into turn 3. He's going for it, but that causes Jake May to get a big jump on the field. Half a second now over 2nd place at Dalton Fredericks, and they're battling side by side for the 2nd spot. That's exactly what May wants to see. Oh, Lacey sends the 20 around, caution. Oh, and the big hit from the 14. And we'll have to see what the penalty issued is. I think if he calls a caution, it's an EOL. And we'll go back and take a look at it. See if we can get a little closer. And Fredericks keeping a decent pace through there, the 52, needing to go around. I'm sure he didn't want to spin. The 20 was probably trying to knock him up the track, but that's not what happened as the 20 goes around sideways. And right here, the 14 with a big hit. And I'm surprised that that didn't break that front suspension on the 20, and he's able to continue here. I guess we'll see what they decide. We'll watch it at speed here into the corner. Let's look at it one more time. Let's see if the 20 gets loose. I don't know. I don't think so. Looks to me like it's go time. And looks like Lacey has packed it up and headed home. So Lacey may have been given a penalty there and didn't like the penalty. Looks like Lacey has packed it up and headed home. So Brayton Laster chiming in there. Hero or zero time. Driving and texting not good, sir. But up to the 6th spot, Brayton Laster. All right, Brayden, you got the pizza machine. We've got 9 to go. You got to get us to the finish in 30 minutes or less here, Brayden. Hopefully a lot less. Up to 6th spot. What can he do? And it looks like we're going to have a single file restart. Pace car in. Interesting. This late in the race to go with a single file restart. Oh, the 72 around. Good intentions with the single file restart, but that did not work. As we go into the corner, the 33 sends it in there and punts the 72 around the corner. I don't think there's much damage for anybody else. 72, a little bit of damage there. I'm not sure if there was something going on between those two before that. But man, just sent it in there. Right on the restart. This is the green flag for the restart. Yeah, nothing the 72 could have done there. So May's still going to be out front. They still got the 33 of Wise in the 4th spot. So we'll see. Laster's up to 5th now. And now, yes, they penalize the 33 of Scott Wise. He'll move to the back. That'll move some of these other drivers up. Dalton Fredericks back up to the 6th position. You know, I'm not sure a single file restart is going to be enough here to try and fix all this. We did have a very good string of green flag racing in the middle of this race. And I hope that doesn't go overlooked. Some great racing between Jake May, Landon Lacey, and Dalton Fredericks for that win, or for the lead at that point. As May, the only one still up there really in contention right now. Fredericks back in 5th spot. He might have a shot. Tyler asking what's the best paint scheme in the field. Yeah, if we get another caution, we'll definitely go through and look. But Brayden having the pizza car, you got to imagine that's got to be a top contender. Look at that pizza dripping down the side of that thing. And he's in 4th spot with a chance to win. Let's see if we can get at least one lap in here before we have a caution. Green flag. He waited all the way to the green flag to go. Laster sent it in there. Torres trying to get a run. Fredericks now around Laster. Oh, one goes around the 22 of Blaney, able to keep it straight. But he's going to drop back. Fredericks now up to the 3rd spot. He's going to need another caution. He's the only one, in my opinion, up here in the top three that's fast enough to catch May, as he was running with him earlier in this one. May pulling out 1.3 seconds. Fredericks now in the battle for second. Side by side across the line, Torres and Fredericks for the second position. Fredericks now into second spot, 3 laps to go and a second and a half. The distance between him and the leader, Jake May. He's going to need a caution. If he does get one, then Fredericks is one that could win this race. 2 to go for Jake May. And there is a lot of battles back here. The 22 sideways. 74 sends him on around. He's in the grass. No caution. The 72 sideways down the backstretch. As we take the white flag, this one's going to be over. No caution. 2 to go. Man, if you were wondering if this race could get any crazier, it looks like we're going to have a 2-lap shootout. Dalton Fredericks, who got spun a little earlier, has made his way back to the second position. And he is fast enough to get around this 10 of Jake May. Giving him a little bump, saying, hey, I'm here. We're about to race for this thing. We will have 3 to go now. Looks like they've added a lap. Let's see if we can see what happened there for the caution. Yeah, the 72 got sideways off the backstretch. And he was back here for a while. I'm not exactly sure what caused the caution. Probably him stopping right there on the racetrack is likely what caused the caution there, but we'll be able to have a green white checker here at least. All right, let's take a quick look at some of these paint schemes. There's the 10 of Jake May. Dalton Fredericks in the 20. I'm always a little bit biased towards the 3 car, but it's a Ford, so that's a tough one. I think my vote for the best scheme has got to go for the pizza car. Brayton Laster, a very cool design. Scott Wise in a 33. Now this 22 car kind of reminds me, I mean, I know it's not a Davey Allison scheme, but for some reason it kind of reminds me of an old Texaco Davey Allison style scheme, which is pretty cool. Might be the chrome wheels. Chris Stange, he gets the penalty there, so I guess that was his caution. And Andrew Mraz, in my opinion, to have the best paint scheme, maybe the Lacey car was a better paint scheme, but I think to win the best paint scheme, you got to finish the race. Pace car off. We're green flag. 2 to go. Fredericks immediately to the outside. Can he get the goes there? No. Oh, he gasses it up a little too hard, but able to drive out of it. We've not seen a lot of people be able to do that. The 13 of Laster around on the backstretch. The 33 and the 22 around. Everyone outside of third around in turn 3. The top 3, the only 3 cars that make it back to the line there. That's what sent the 13 around of Laster. Yeah, I don't think that was necessarily Brayton's fault. Yeah, definitely not Brayton's fault. These two cars beating and banging on the outside. The 22 sends the 33 down the track, knocks Brayton around sideways. But then on past that, oh, here it is. These two wreck again into the next corner. That's what caused the caution. These two continually beating and banging. And, oh, hits the 72. That's where the caution comes out right there. So we're going to get to re-rack him and go again. Can Fredericks make a difference? I think, you know, Blaney, I think, may have pitted there. It looked like he was coming down the pit lane. You know, if you're back there like Laster, Blaney, Campeggio, you know, you come in and get a set of tires with as many people that are wrecking, you know, you might find yourself back out there on the front. I'm not sure how many green-white checker attempts we have, if this is even technically a green-white checker, because caution laps don't count. But we have gotten the white flag twice. Is Brayton my whole world? No, he's not my whole world, but he's a funny guy. He's a great follow on Twitter. Every time I get to interview him, always says some funny things. Got a lot of fans that tune in, so I got to cover Brayton because a lot of the fans that are tuning in are Brayton Laster fans, I'll tell you that. But I like Laster, but I think this one's going to come down to May and Fredericks. Still a single file restart. Green flag, Fredericks back to the outside. 2 to go. There he is. Fredericks on the outside, side by side. He's going to get another run. Can May clear him? He does. Caution. 22 Blaney around. Right there, Blaney all four off the ground. Let's see why he went into the corner like that. Got loose. Oh, hit the curb and right up into the 9. And a hard hit. Looks like Blaney's going to call it a day. And you'll watch as he hits this curb and it just shoots him to the right. At that point, he's just along for the ride. See, the brakes are locked up. Has anybody kept count of how many attempts this is? I think this is attempt 4 or 5 at a green-white checker. It looks like unlimited attempts here. I think if it's me, I just let him go double file. It doesn't matter if it's single or double. Yeah, the brand of the pace car, I think it's a Hyundai. Or a Kia. Either way, the lights are off on it. And we are going to go single file again. Impressive what Fredericks was able to do on that last restart. We'll see if he's able to do it again. We're going to watch this whole finish on the blimp cam. Green flag's out. The 20 up to the outside wall. A big run, dives it in. He's going to get a big run off the corner. Where will he take it? Jake May to the bottom. Fredericks on the outside. The 72 sends it in deep to the outside wall. White flag flies. The 20 of Fredericks, I don't think he's going to have enough. The 10 of Jake May around the bottom. And the 4 goes around, but the checkered is in the air. Jake May will win the Clash at North Wilkesboro, and only had to win it about 15 times there at the end of it. But your winner, Jake May. A huge battle between him and Dalton Fredericks there at the end. Joe Torres up there with a real shot at it. Make sure you all come back next week and watch the duels. As Jake May does his burnouts. Make sure I get the name of this right next week. The Fueled Up Duels and the Fueled Up 250 at Daytona. Make sure you tune in next week for the Fueled Up Duels and the Fueled Up 250 at Daytona. And we're going to get in here and try and get an interview with these top threes. We'll get a word with our third place finisher, Joe Torres, here in a minute. Jake May with a big burnout all the way around this racetrack. Well, that was certainly intense. We got Dalton Fredericks in the waiting room. Let's see if we can get a word from our second place finisher, Dalton Fredericks.
In
Hey,
top
Dalton.
3, but
This is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
yes, sir. Sorry about that.
It's all good, man. A fantastic run there at the end. A great battle there in the middle. There was a one long green flag run. Landon Lacey and Jake May was all battling really hard for a long time. Then we have some crazy chaos there at the end. You get spun, and but you work your way back to the front, and all those single file restarts at the end. You shooting it to the outside. What was your plan there at the end to try and get around May?
Yeah, I was hoping to do a crossover in 1 and 2, but he was blocking that, and there's a bad bump coming out of 2 that gets you really loose. So you really had to watch out for that. But I saw he kept blocking that every time, so I figured I could get my nose on his outside and try to make something happen and do a crossover somewhere else. But yeah, it just tires spun too much. I almost had him in 2. I thought I was going to have a good shot out of 2, but I drifted the car, literally Formula Drift out of 2. But it was a fun race. Yeah. Congrats to Jake May and the other teammate that came in 3rd. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name right now. Joe might be it. Anyways.
Yeah, what were your thoughts?
Yeah,
there?
good race.
What were your thoughts there when you got spun out? Did you think that your race was over, or did you think that with all this chaos and crazy cautions that you might have another shot at it?
Yeah, I thought I was pretty much done. Yeah, it was frustrating. I wasn't even in the throttle. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then whoop, went around, and I was like, well, that sucks. But
well, this series looks like it's going to be a good one, a great race here at North Wilkesboro. But next week we go to Daytona. We've seen you on the Throttle Up Racing Network in the Indy car. This is our first race seeing you in a stock car. How good are you at super speedway racing?
hopefully good enough for a win. That's what we'll be shooting for. But overall, fun race. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We got plenty of teammates to work with, and I'm excited.
Sounds good. You got anybody you'd like to thank real quick?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Riot Motorsports for the awesome car. The guys at the shop, they do a good job on working on the car and getting the setups right. Had an amazing setup, actually. Great car. Want to shout out to Superior Templating for sponsoring the car. Sim Coaches. Don't forget to go to Sim Coaches, use our code. And want to thank Joe for putting the league together, and thank you for broadcasting.
Absolutely, and thank you for putting on a great show, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again very soon.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
You too. That was our second place finisher, Dalton Fredericks. You heard him talking about setups. This is an open setup league, so when he talks about the guys back in the shop, they're really getting on his computer and having to make every adjustment that you would in a real race car to make these cars go. This is not a fixed series. This is an open series. So that's one detail that I wanted to make sure that you all knew. Let's get a word from our third place finisher, Joe Torres. Hey, Joe, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got a copy.
Hey, man, a fantastic run. I'm kind of biased on that number 3. That's my favorite number, so it's good to see it finish up here in the top 3. A great short track run here at North Wilkesboro. What were your thoughts on this race as a whole, and how did you get up there at the end with all those crazy cautions?
It was chaotic, man. I couldn't believe the car was that good. Gotta thank first and foremost Kyle Zimmer and everyone at Riot for building this setup. The car was fantastic. It's just really in traffic, it was kind of hard to pass, and you had to use the second lane to pass. And then the race was chaotic. I had to go into survival mode, which was basically just try to survive and beat the attrition of all these wrecks. And then I got collected in a few, got doored, beaten a bang. Good old short track racing, but it was fun overall. I just can't thank enough Jacob May, Dalton Fredericks, everyone at Riot, Gary Wells also. Like I said, it was a team effort to get these 3 cars in the top 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys were lightning fast. Next week we go for our first points race at Daytona. How are you on Super Speedway? It looks like you got some good teammates.
Yeah, we do. We'll find out what we do at Daytona. I'm not sure how much speed we'll have. We'll probably find out when we start testing in like a couple of days or before the Daytona race anyways. But I have faith that we'll have enough speed to be up there in front and hopefully contend for the win.
Absolutely. We want to see this number 3 in victory lane before the year's over. You got anybody else you'd like to thank after this one?
I gotta thank Superior Templates. They for sponsoring the car. Riot. Gotta also thank the Nerds podcast. Everybody and all the sponsors from Riot Racing. Gotta thank also my teammates in it and all of them. It was, like I said, fantastic.
Absolutely. Looked like a lot of fun out there. Hopefully we'll be talking to you again very soon.
Alrighty.
That was Joe Torres, our third place finisher. And now on to the man of the hour, Jake May, our winner. Hey, Jake, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Hey, doing good, man. You put on a clinic out there. Landon Lacey was, in my opinion, was kind of my favorite to win this thing because I've covered him a lot and I've seen him win a lot of races. And man, if you didn't go out there and give it to him, you passed him, you led a lot of laps, and he just didn't have anything for you, man. What do you make of this race? There was a lot of green flag laps there in the middle, and you were just pulling away, and then to come down and get the white flag twice and having to win this thing basically 4 or 5 times at the end. What are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, man, it's awesome. Just so happy to have this opportunity to run with Riot. Big thank you to Gary, Andrew, Anthony, Michael, and just all the guys back to give all these good setups. No, it was an awesome race, and just trying to keep myself patient, keep myself smooth. I saw Landon kind of overdriving it on entry, so I tried to just back my corner up, stay smooth. It's just awesome. Came off a rough weekend on the real life side, so good way to pick myself up.
Yeah, there's nothing that makes you feel better than winning. But next week we go to Daytona. Looks like from the sounds of these other 2 interviews, you've got some good teammates to work with next week. What are your thoughts going into the Super Speedway and starting this season off with the first points race?
Yeah, man, I think Dalton, Joe, Kyle, Gary, I think we're going to work well together. We were really fast in the preseason. Sim coaches guys had us, definitely, but if we work well together, should be good going in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Super entertaining watching you guys race. You, Landon, and Dalton there for that green flag run. You was almost a half lap ahead of everybody. So super entertaining. Great job for winning this race. You got anybody you'd like to thank after this one?
Yeah, for sure. Just want to thank now my mom and dad, especially. They're my biggest support. Gary Wells, Hanley, Mraz, all these guys that support me. Everyone on Facebook, watching through Jake May Racing. I appreciate you guys for your support. Just thanking the Lord for this good opportunity.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, and hopefully we'll be talking to you next week at Daytona.
Sounds good. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, there's Jake May, our winner. Now, next week, make sure you tune in. We will be back here, right here on the Throttle Up Racing Network with the Fueled Up Duels and the Fueled Up 250 at Daytona. Let's see if we can pull up our schedule. Looking for a date. Don't see a date, but we've got Daytona and then Las Vegas, Atlanta, Circuit of the Americas, Talladega, Darlington, Charlotte Motor Speedway, Sonoma, Nashville Fairgrounds, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Watkins Glen, Richmond Raceway, and Bristol Motor Speedway. That's the regular season. So it's going to be a great season. The schedule looks great. When we get into the playoffs, 12 drivers will be making the playoffs. Texas Motor Speedway and the Roval in round 1. Then it'll go down to 8. And Homestead, Miami, and Martinsville will be the second round. It'll go down to the final 4. It'll be at Phoenix Raceway for championship weekend. So super exciting. Here's the date. Yeah, it looks like we might just be doing the duels next week. The Daytona, the Fueled Up duels. I believe that might be all that's next week. But we'll get on that for sure. But either way, tune in next week. We're glad you stuck around with us. And we will catch you on the next one.
What you think about when you're born into a fire?